into Game 3 of Origin on Wednesday. Here we go, wait for that green light, and we are on. Hey guys, how you going? So down BK Sport, we are live as the Sydney Roosters take on the West Tigers in the second last game of the weekend. Obviously, this is round 18, and we are very close now to getting towards the back end of the round, and also towards Origin, and then the back end of the season, which is going to be an absolute fight to the finish for a lot of these teams around the top 8, but also fight to the finish for those teams in the top 4, because that is really jumbled up at the moment and changing around, especially with the Dogs losing the other night and the Storm winning and the Raiders winning, and you know, it's just it's dropped the Dogs down to third, and this top 8 battle is just all over the shop, man. So this is really important here for the Roosters today. The Tigers obviously trying to avoid a 4th consecutive spoon. They are currently in 3rd last, so they are in a bit of a tumultuous situation themselves, and let's get into it before the game does start in 15 minutes time. So obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new around here, and let's get it. So the Roosters, they come into this game from 6th position. The Tigers come into this game from 15th position, and this is at Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Now the ins here for the Roosters: Ben Johnson, Delisada Va'a, Egan Butcher, Makahesi Makatoa, Max McCarthy, Taylor Lasalu, and Tom Rodwell. With the outs being Angus Crichton, Billy Smith, Connor Watson, Lindsay Collins, Robert Toya, Siwa Wong, and Spencer Leniu. So a lot of massive outs here for the Sydney Roosters. Now the Tigers are really jumbled up themselves. They've got players left, right, out, all over the place as well. Pretty much all of their spine is, actually no, all of their spine is gone. All of their spine is out tonight, the Tigers. So even though the Roosters have all these players out, don't worry, the Tigers are in their own little mess there. Now the fullback is James Tedesco, who is the captain, with the wingers being Daniel Tupou and Tom Rodwell. Centres of Mark Nwangane-Tawase and Ethan King. Now Nwangane-Tawase was originally on the other side. He's been shifted across to the other centre, with Ethan King coming in as the 18th man into the starting centre position. And go to the 5'8", Sandon Smith, with the halfback being Hugo Zavala, who's been having a great year. Front row forwards of Nafahu Wa and Makahesi Makatoa. Number 9 is Benaya Uelu. You go to the second row, Egan Butcher and Celeste Foketi, with the 13 being Blake Steep. Then you go to the interchange, Zach Docker-Clay, Max McCarthy, Taylor Lasalu, and Delisada Va'a, with the 18th man replacement being Ben Johnson, and the coach is Trent Robinson. This is going to be a really difficult read here for the Roosters. However, they have had, you know, they've been able to get some pretty big results when they've had their Origin players out throughout this this season so far. Like if we go back to their recent game, obviously that Sharks game was the big key test that we saw, where they were able to go to Cronulla and absolutely whoop them. I think it was like 42. Oh, they did. Sorry, it wasn't in Cronulla. It was in Gosford. But it's 42-16. Sharks had a full strength lineup. They're never impacted by Origin, whilst the Roosters had, you know, pretty much their entire team out, and yet they were able to absolutely slap them 42-16. Now the Sharks are obviously a problem this year, but the point of the matter is that that was a huge result for them, considering that it was during the Origin period. And then the next game, I think it might have been the Knights game, where they won 12-8, where they had all their players out for Origin as well. Let me go to the team list there. Yes, it was also the Knights game where they had all their Origin stars out, and yet they're able to win. So every time they've got their players out, they're still able to win. So the youngsters here, the up-and-comers for the Sydney Chooksters, they are just getting the job done, and they are just finding ways to win. Now, the problem with the Sydney Roosters this year is that they make a lot of errors. They make a ridiculous, I think they're the second most for errors in the league. I'm going to go to the stats here and confirm that for me. But they make the second most amount of errors in the league, I think, behind the Newcastle Knights. Let me go down here. Go down, negative play. Yes, errors, sorry, they're third. They are third behind the Cowboys. So Knights are on 211 errors. The Cowboys are 207 errors. And the Roosters are on 183. Here's a surprise for you. The Melbourne Storm are also on 181. So the two teams in that top 6 right now, because the Roosters are top 6, yeah, they're 6th place. Sorry, no, they're 8th place, but that is due to the fact that the Dolphins and the Panthers had a bye. But the Roosters and the Storm both have their top 4 for errors, which is crazy. Even the Broncos are 176, but that doesn't surprise me. So the Roosters are the 3rd most error-ridden team in the competition. They're usually good for about 10 to 15, and that's not even joking, like 10 to 15 errors a game. So although they are winning games, which is the most important part, they're making it really difficult for themselves with errors. That is the biggest concern with the Roosters so far this season. Now the Tigers, on the other hand, Brent Naden, Charlie Staines, Kit Laloli'i, and Tristan Hope come in, with the outs being Api Kotoi-Sau, Heath Mason, Jack Bird, and Talon De Silva. Now just a little bit of extra context here. Dream Buller is out there fullback. Jerome Luai is obviously not there. Then you've also got Apisai Kotoi-Sau out, and who's normally their 6th? Oh, to be fair, they do actually have one of their 6 or 7, and Latufanu and Adam and Dewey there. Latufanu playing in the halfback here today. So they don't have their full spine out, but it has been completely decimated in their spine, the Tigers. Now the fullback is Sunya Toruva, with the wingers being Charlie Staines and Jarrell Skelton. Centers of Luke Lalali'i and Stafford Toa. You go to the 5'8", which is Adam Dewey, and the halfback Latu Fainu. Front row forwards of Terrell May and Fanua Pole, with the number 9 being Tristan Hope. Back row of Samwala Fainu and Tony Suka, who comes in off the bench to start in the back row. And then you've got the 13, Alex Twell, who is the captain. Interchange is Charlie Murray, Alex Seyfarth, Sione Fainu, and Kip Lalali'i, with the 18th minute replacement being Brent Naden, the coach is Benji Marshall. Obviously, the Tigers got off to a red-hot start for their season. You know, they were looking decent at the beginning of the year. It has really come back down to reality and has come back down to earth towards this middle to back-end part of the season. And, look, it is looking really tough for them. This is still going to be a very tough game for them. They are without a lot of players themselves. And even when they are a full-strength team, they have been struggling of late. Let's go back and have a look at a couple of their recent results, because I'm pretty certain they've lost, I think, 6 in a row. At least next week they get a relatively easier matchup, but they've lost 6 games. No, sorry, they play the Warriors next week. So they lost the 28-10 to the Manly last week. They lost 16-12 to the Raiders. Now, that wasn't actually a bad result there for the Tigers, because they were down 16-0, came rocketing back to make it 16-12, and actually had all the momentum in the second half, just couldn't get over the line, which is more a telling point about the Raiders, because they've done that quite a bit recently. Yesterday, we saw it with the Canberra Raiders against the Dragons. We also saw the Raiders do it against the Knights and also against the Tigers. So 3 games in a row there for Canberra. They've gone out to a bit of a lead, and the other teams just made it really competitive despite their lowly position on the table, whilst the Raiders sit in, well, not first, but first, but not first, but first, as you can see here on the ladder. This is the real ladder, not the bullshit ladder you see elsewhere. But obviously they're in first, and that it really does tell me more about the Raiders. However, the Tigers were a part of that. So it wasn't really a bad result there against Canberra. Had the bye. They lost 18-14 to the Panthers. Lost 32-28 to the Cowboys. Another one where they came back and just couldn't get over the top of them. So maybe the Tigers are a decent enough second half team. You know, maybe the Tigers are showing that they are good enough in the second half to really push the teams to the edge, but they just can't get over the line. And that just comes down to remembering how to win. You know, they've just got to remember how to win, which when you get into these losing streaks, you do forget it. It might sound really a strange thing to say, but teams do forget how to actually get over the line and win. And especially when the Tigers over the last couple of years have been so used to losing, it's really hard to adjust that so immediately, which is why I was saying at the start of the season, they are developing out of the stage they were. They lost to the Rabbitohs 22-12, and they also lost to the Storm 64-0. Their last win comes back on the 3rd of May at Magic Round. So think all the way back to Magic Round. That was the last time the Tigers won a game. That was over the Dragons 34-28 in a very close game there too. Very controversial game too as well for that beating the Sharks 20-18. So it's been a really tumultuous time ever since they got absolutely whacked for 64 by the Melbourne Storm at Amy Park on the 11th of May. And since then haven't won. So look, I am still going to tip the Roosters here today just because I've got a little bit more confidence in them. I think that you're fair enough if you think the Tigers can win this. There's a lot going on at the club off the field, and obviously a similar form is kind of eventuating here on the field as well from what we've seen recently in recent years. However, I have more confidence in the Roosters, despite the fact they've got their players out. They've proven multiple times so far this season that even when they have their players out against the Sharks, against the Knights, they've been able to come through and win that game. Obviously, the Knights game was a bit controversial with that try and whatnot. However, they still won it, and they absolutely whooped the Sharks. So, on that basis, the Roosters have proven a bit more to me that they're able to, pass through the origin check and pass through and get wins regardless. So I will take 1 of 12, but there still is a chance they win 13 plus. There is still a chance as well the Tigers are able to get up and at them and fire up behind their coach, who's facing quite a bit of criticism at the moment. Now, in regards to the ladder, in the Roosters, they're sitting in 8th position right now on 20 points, which is equal with the Cronulla Sharks and also the Redcliffe Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins have had their bye, and the team above them, the Panthers on 21 points, have also had their bye. So if the Roosters won this game, they would go above the Dolphins and also the Panthers into 6th position, and they'd be equal with the Broncos on 22 points, who are on 5th position. Now, the Broncos have a plus 68, whilst the Roosters have a plus 16, so they'd have to win this game by about 54-odd points to be going above the Broncos, which, look, against the Tigers, it's not completely out of the equation, but with all their players out, that's a real big struggle to actually see. So I think that if the Roosters win this game, they more than likely will just simply finish off in 6th position. But if the Roosters win this game, they'll finish off in 6th position, just behind the Broncos there on points differential. If they lose this game, however, the Sharks are on -4. They've had their bye already. So the Roosters would have to lose by 20 points or more to go below Cronulla today, which would put them into 9th position. If they lose by anything less than 20, then they would stay in 8th position for the time being. However, Manly, they play the Rabbitohs right after this. So the Manly are on 18 points with a +40. If Manly win and the Roosters lose, Manly will jump the Roosters into 8th position, and the Roosters, will drop down to 9th. The Sharks will go back down to 10th there. Is that all? Yeah, no, the Dolphins... no, I don't even know why I even entertained the thought. The Dolphins +162 points differential, no one's even close to. So yeah, if the Roosters lose and Manly win against the Rabbitohs after this game, Roosters will finish off the weekend in 9th. Unless the Roosters lose by over 20 points, then they can finish off this weekend in 10th position. So a win here is really, really crucial. Not only in the fact that you just need the 2 points, but it puts you up into the top 6 and provides you a home final if you can maintain that positioning. Now, the Tigers, on the other hand, their season in the top for the top 8 is pretty much done. Like the Rabbitohs, the Tigers, the Titans, Eels and Knights, even to throw it out there, like all these seasons are pretty much done here. However, mathematically speaking, and realistically mathematically speaking too, it's not done. It's just based off what we've seen. You wouldn't be having these guys for the top 8. But the Tigers are equal last right now with the Rabbitohs and the Titans all on 14 points. The Tigers have a -84, the Rabbitohs have a -111, and the Titans have a -144. Now, the Titans have had their bye, so don't worry about that. But if the Tigers win, they would go equal with the Eels and the Knights. The Eels are on -103 and the Knights are on -67. Both of those teams have already had their bye. So the Tigers, they win, they're on -84. They would go above the Eels into 14th position, and they would have to win by 17 points or more, basically 18 points to go above the Newcastle Knights into 13th position. And that is where they would finish. They would finish in 13th position regardless of what happens in the next game. If they lose this game, however, they're more than likely not going to be looking to go into last position. They would have to lose this game by 60 points or more to go below the Gold Coast Titans. But if they do lose, they could... If they lost by 28 points, they would go below the Rabbitohs before their game even starts. And then if the Rabbitohs do win, then obviously the Tigers will finish off the weekend in 15th position. But there is a chance if, say, for example, the Tigers lose this game by 30 points, let's say. So they go down to -94, -104, -114. They would go below the Rabbitohs there, -111 to 114. And then if the Rabbitohs still lost that game, but only by 1-2 points, then the Rabbitohs would jump actually into 15th position regardless. So, yeah, look, the Tigers are just trying to avoid the spoon right now. 4 spoons in a row would be absolutely diabolical. 3 spoons was enough, but 4 spoons is absolutely diabolical. But they are equal last at the moment despite their positive start to the season. So, look, big game here for both these teams. Very decimated teams. One due to Origin, one more so with injuries and whatnot. But hopefully it's going to be a good game here. A lot of games recently that you think aren't going to be great. For example, Raiders-Dragons yesterday ended up being a good game. So, despite the fact it doesn't look like it's going to be an absolute belter, hopefully it is. But guys, obviously hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Beautiful day there in Sydney. Where were you? Absolutely beautiful day. What's it like here in Bangkok? It's pretty decent, actually. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But all right, let's get to the chat and let's see what you are saying. Olivia Reach is back with an $8 due donation. Get around you, Olivia. So I'd like to apologise for my drunkenness. The wine deaths hit me. You didn't really say anything bad. It was just very funny because the spelling was... The spelling was a little bit all over the shop. The spelling was a little bit all over the shop, but Olivia. But don't worry, I had a big one last night as well here in Le Bangkok. I'm going to read this going out. Ticklish Cutie says, thank you very much, Olivia, for the $8 donation. Ticklish Cutie says, this guy makes a living off streaming and you guys support him. Yep, that's why you're here, because you're probably here quite regularly. You just either don't comment or you're just sitting there hating. And I hope you're enjoying, man. I'm just enjoying my life here in Bangkok right now. I'll be in Vietnam tomorrow as well, so appreciate all your support from afar, mate. Appreciate all your support. Olivia Reed says fetishes aren't cute, and it's okay if you don't want to admit your fetish of being BK's biggest fan. Oh no, this is beautiful. You know, this is the greatest part. This is probably, you know, this is the best part about haters, right? Is that they will watch you regardless. You just like Man, how do you come out of this? Look, how do you come out of this feeling like you've got an internal win? You know what I mean? Ibrahim says, Olivia, you must be more drunk than... Okay, we're not going down the Ezra Man path. We're not doing it. We're not going down the Ezra Man path. Deary me. Oh my gosh, been 2 seconds. Been 2 seconds. I had 3 bottles of wine. I could have been. Fair enough. You know, fair enough. It was a Saturday night. You know, get rowdy, Olivia. Get rowdy. Deary me, get rowdy. But the Roosters are out in the field now, so are the Tigers. Most tackle busts in 2025. James Tedesco leads the board with 107. Sad to see Savelio Tamale there on the top 5 with 93. So that's really sad because he obviously did an injury for the rest of the season. He would have been absolutely pumping up there alongside James Tedesco. I think he's been out for the last 2 games, so he would have been around probably the 100 mark and would have been up there quite close considering that, you know, he's a nice little youngster coming through, and that's why injuries is just so hard to watch. But the Tigers are going to kick this ball off, and it will be the Roosters coming out from their own in-goal. That is such a beautiful day in Sydney, man. I will say, so first tackle of the Roosters, that Nafahu White out of the 10. I will say, like, go Sydney on a beautiful sunny day. There's just in the winter. I prefer Sydney in the winter on a beautiful sunny. I think the vibe is unreal. I think the vibe is unreal when I don't know what it is, just the cool air about it, and I really enjoy having like away games for Titans and whatnot when we're playing in Sydney during this time of the year. Oh, no scoreboards allowed on Sundays, Jay. Wow. Well, that's fair. I'm going to see if I can try and adjust that. Let me just talk to the government here. Can we adjust that? Can we adjust that? Oh, we can. Okay, thank you, government. Thank you, Albanese. All right, so it's going to be a fit tackle for the Roosters at the 44, and they will kick that ball down to... they're going to let that ball bounce to the top, but that's actually an awful kick. Oh, no, it's going to bounce inside. Oh, no. That was actually a fantastic kick, and they're going to get dragged back into the in-goal. Oh, that was an unlucky bounce of Sunil Tadorova. That looked like for all money that it was going to be going dead for a 7-tackle set, and the ball just bounces up, and Tadorova is going to get taken back in goal. That is so unfortunate for the Tigers, man. That was actually an awful kick that ended up being a perfect kick. That just took an awful bounce for Tadorova, and now it's going to be a dropout of the first set of the game. Everyone says also Rick Munster's dad. Yeah, I saw that. That's really sad news, man. You know, obviously, you know, everyone wants to still talk about Origin and whatnot, and it's like that's not going to go 10. They want to talk about Origin, but the more important thing here is that Karen Munster and her family have lost you know, their father. And it's, yeah, obviously all love goes out to the Munster family and whatnot, because that was tough to see. And you can see Billy choking up in the press conference and talking about it and all that. So, look, it's going to be interesting. Like, it shows Munster's character and you know, tough mental state to be able to still say that I'll be playing on Wednesday for Origin, which obviously he was going to do, but it's just... let's see how he performs, man. I hope he has an absolute ripper game for his dad. So second tackle now for the Roosters. They're 3 metres out from the line, and it will be 5 metres out now. Third tackle for the Chooks. Libby says, I didn't drive anywhere, though. I got cheeseburgers delivered because I have brains. That is very smart. That is a smart thing to do. James Tedesco here, 10 metres out. Nwanga to Wase. Should have passed the ball. It would have been a try. He does pass the ball now, and I think he's held up. I think he's held up here. He got over the line here on the wing, Tom Rodwell, but I'm pretty certain that this is going to be held up over the line. And they are just going to confirm it, yeah. Oh no, what's old mate said to get removed? Yeah, stupid comment. That is going to be held up. Yeah, that will be held up. Dude, my screen is like, with that donation that Libby sent, you can see like the likes on the side. My screen just keeps having it go 1, 3, 4, 7, 5, 3, 3, 3. Ibrahim says, if Tigers get another wooden spoon, can we just add them to the Super League? This will be held up for sure. So we'll come back out here to the 10 here for the Roosters. But look, if the Tigers get another spoon, it really is going to be sad for them, because they did have such a good start at the beginning of the season that was showing signs of improvement. And they've got a lot of injuries right now, but so does everyone. Like, Rabbitohs have a dramatic amount of injuries. The Titans have had quite a few this season. I'm pretty certain the Titans are 3rd for injuries. Rabbitohs are 1st for injuries. I think the Tigers might be 4th for injuries or something like that. That's why you see these teams down the bottom of the table. And like even when the Titans are full strength, they've still got a lot of issues that they need to sort out. But overall, yeah. Well, why'd you remove that one, Libby? That one's fine. There's nothing wrong with that comment. Like he's just making a comment. All right, so the left-hand side, and they give it to Nafahu White. And they says Roosters by 1,000. Well, they've got all their Origin players out. Like, sure, it's a possibility, but Roosters on fit tackle. Into the corner. Daniel Tupou knocks it back, and it will be a knock on here from the Roosters. So the Tigers pick this up on 0 tackle at the 10. I didn't touch shit. Did he get timed out? Okay, let's change that. Ibrahim, you've been accidentally timed out. We're going to change that to a 10-second one, so you're not actually. Olivia's gone rogue. Drunk rogue. Olivia's had too many wines, and the timeout button is being freely hit at the moment. All right, so third tackle now at the 25 for the Tigers. Nacho, Sydney Harbour Ferry on a sunny day is pretty grouse too. Dude, my favourite time of the year, so that's apparently the Tigers at the 25. My favourite time would be nearly the Manly away day at Brookvale, even though we lose all the time there. I always make a point of going on the Manly Ferry to and from the harbour. So, like, on the day, it's just beautiful. Usually the game's on in, like, an afternoon game on a Sunday or usually it's, like, the 4 p.m. game on a Sunday, maybe? Or it might even be... it's usually the 4 p.m. game on a Sunday that we play them there, and just going across in the afternoon with the beautiful wind, especially at this time of the year with a cool. Oh, it's beautiful, mate. It's absolutely beautiful. And then even coming back at night. But, like, the night gets pretty damn well cold. The afternoon's a lot better. So Adam Dewey on third tackle, now 24 metres out. But then the game absolutely sucks. So maybe that just emphasises the cold. So fourth tackle, 18 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle, out to the 15. And Latifani with a forward pass by about 1 million years, and then a knock on by about 300 years by the Tigers. Mitchell Vela Sport, bro, you're not getting the reaction you want, man. Shut your mouth. Casey says, who we tipping today? Can the Tigers keep losing, or will they end the drought? I'm tipping the Roosters, but like the Tigers absolutely could still win this game. I don't think it's 50-50. I'd say it's 60-40 Roosters on the basis that the Roosters have proven themselves time and time again, even without their Origin players. They whooped the Sharks and they controversially beat the Knights, even with their players out. So it's not like they can't handle the pressure. 34 minutes left here, and now Daniel Tupou will get the ball to the 20. And look, with the Manly Rabbitohs game later on today, that's going to be an interesting one because Alex Johnson is getting really close to breaking that Ken Irvine record. How many tries? Actually, can someone in the chat? How many tries is he away now from breaking that Ken Irvine record? He's playing fullback though today, and I'm not a big fan of Alex Johnson, the fullback. Alex Johnson usually plays fullback for Papua New Guinea. I don't think he played fullback there recently, but he usually plays fullback for Papua New Guinea, and I haven't been a massive fan of him there. So he does shift in there with Latrell Mitchell obviously being out, and no Jai Gray as well. So fifth tackle now for the Roosters at the 45 on the Tiger side of the field. That was so random yesterday, Jay. That was so random with those comments at the end of the stream. It was just so strange. I was like, one, I know it wouldn't have been you, but also two, it was just like the whole time you were here. Casey says, I'd like the Roosters to win big and Manly to win big so we can potentially jump the Rabbits. Yeah, Manly beating the Rabbitohs big would be ideal. The Tigers, I just don't see them losing this game by 60 points. They have to lose by 60 to go below the Titans, and the Titans play the Bronx next week at Seabus. Hopefully we can turn up for that one, unlike the previous one. But look, if there was a team that could potentially drop below the Titans today, it would be the Rabbitohs with their minus 111. They would have to lose by 34 points or more. They're playing Manly at Brookvale. Manly have a full-strength team, basically, minus Olakau'atu. That's going to go... Oh! That's actually going to stay in bounds there. Wow, that was very close when out in the full, but it will be Roosters' ball here, basically, at the 20. That was very close going out on the full. So, yeah, look, I wouldn't be holding out too much hope for this game. I think 60 points If it was like a full-strength Roosters team here up against the Tigers, then I would have some pretty good confidence that they would get even, at least close to that marker against this Tigers team. So again, Tigers are injured, Roosters Origin, but let's assume the Tigers are still injured and this isn't an Origin matchup, then I could see the Roosters winning by a very significant margin, but just today I doubt it. We've got the Bronx number easy, surely, hopefully. Mate, I watched them put 28 points past us in the first, 20 minutes a couple of weeks ago. So until I see otherwise, Tedesco, dummies and runs, taken down at the 45 on the Tigers side of the field. Gives it out to Hugo Savala. And then Uelu will be 35 metres out. Ibrahim says, really feel bad for Jai Gray, considering he's playing great and starting most times. I always thought that... I'm not a massive fan of Trell in the fullback position. That's going to be a penalty to the Tigers here at the 20. I think he's offside. It's going to be a penalty here to the Tigers. But I've never been a massive fan of Latrell in the fullback. I was excited for him when he came across the Rabbitohs to play it, but I just don't think he's kicked on as what we would expect. And then Jai Gray came in and was dominating, and I just don't think that they're willing to put Latrell into the centres. One, because they want him close enough to the ball, but also two, because I think he's on too much money to be put into the centres, and I don't think they want to put that much money into that position. Olivia says PTSD is going to be real going back to Seabus next week. Why? Because of last year. Yes, the 46 to 18. Beautiful game. I can't listen to Fanga Boys anymore. A lot of Titans fans don't actually like it. A lot of Titans fans in groups and whatnot criticize that song pretty heavily and say it's too similar to because they try to get the Titans fans to do this, and it's too similar to what the Broncos do, and it's we don't want to be anything like the Broncos. Forward tackling out the 20, but our management and our organisation has no clue about our fan base. They think they do, though. 30 minutes to go here the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. The Tigers, 5 metres out. Stafford. Oh, that's a great offload there from Stafford Toa. Wow, that is a fantastic offload there from Stafford Toa, and they will score. The Tigers will take the lead through Charlie Staines. That looked like it was just completely broken down there, but obviously Toa knew what he was doing from the start. Just runs the ball short side where nothing was on. Drew in both the defenders because it looked like he was just going to take the tackle on fifth, but just finds the offload really late there with a flick out to Charlie Staines, who walks over with ease. Nate J, I don't know if you're live, by the way. I think you might be 5 minutes behind us. So you might have to click on go live. But Nate J says, yeah, mate, the Arvo Ferry is awesome, especially with a sneaky stubby to sip on. Well, I don't really drink much. In Thailand, I have been having a few, but I'm not a real massive drinker, especially not when I was doing vlogs and going to games and whatnot. I'd have too much going on game days to be having a drink, but yeah, I'm sure it would be. Okay, so what an offload. A great offload there. Stafford Toa is such rocks and diamonds, man. He can have absolute belter games, but then he can also have just absolute stinkers as well. But yeah, Nath, I think you got to click on go live because the first comment that you spoke about the ferry was about 5 minutes after, and this comment about the ferry is about 5 minutes after we were speaking about it as well. So Adam Dewey here from the right-hand sideline. Good stuff for the Tigers, man, especially considering the Roosters in the first 5 minutes were able to put a bunch of pressure on them and weren't able to score. And now the Tigers, they get their first real attacking opportunity in the attacking 20, and they've scored immediately. Adam Dewey will make the kick, so you couldn't really see it because the sun was in the way just then. But 6-0 to the Tigers. 29 minutes left of the first half. Maybe this... I don't know, the Roosters haven't exactly been too impressive in this first 11 minutes. Especially with... They've had a lot of ball. I want to see the opening 10 minutes possession count. I feel like they've had a ridiculous amount of ball. Yeah, basically 60%. It's pretty good for them for the Tigers, especially with the Roosters also being 100% completion rate, 4 from 4. Tigers are at 3 from 4. Alright, so Roosters to get the ball off, and the Tigers will bring it out here from about 3 metres out. And good strong run back there from Jarrell Skelton. He's a stocky winger, man. First tackle out to the right-hand side, now 25 metres out for good post contact there. NRL replay says I'm thinking the Tigers win. I disagree. I still probably have the Roosters to win this game, but like I did have it as 60-40. Both like Tigers are just ridiculously injured, and the Roosters are just ridiculously depleted for Origin. Fourth tackle now at the 50. They've just proven themselves more, the Roosters, with their players out. Oh, 12 arcing up here. Oh, with Makatoa, and 6 again now for the Tigers as well. A little bit of a push and shove there. First tackle now for the Tigers at the 40. Turning it over off to Adam Dewey. I wonder how Dewey's going to go in the 6 today as well. He's very rocks and diamonds there. Out to Latufonu, and then Terrell May. And Terrell May's third tackle at the 20. A lot of that hype on Terrell May has really died down quite significantly. I think he's probably regretting those comments he made on that, that podcast publicly. 8 metres out, and not the play there from the Tigers hooker. I think he might have said 6 again here. No, Terrell May now with the ball. He's 10 metres out. He'll give it off to Stafford Toa. And Toa will flick it back to Terrell May. Terrell May has touched the ball 3 times here in this one tackle. And finally gets taken down. 8 metres out from the line, fit tackle. Tristan Hope to Latufonu. Adam Dewey kicks it through. Not a bad kick. It's going to put him... It's probably going to give him a dropout. Yeah, it is. He's going to get taken back in the in goal. No, Jason's Titans will win, I reckon. I still feel like you're well behind. Are you talking about the Titans-Broncos game that we were speaking about 5 minutes ago, Nath? I still feel like you haven't clicked on Go Live, man. Can someone in the chat tell Nate to click on live? I feel like he's speaking about things that we've spoken about like half a decade ago. So the Roosters, they will... that's a big, long kick. That's going to go 80 metres on the dropout. Wow. It was 75 metres on the dropout. That is a whopping dropout there from the Roosters. Surfrider, click on live, police. Nate Surfrider J. Second tackle now for the Tigers, and they'll beat the 40. That was a whopping dropout, man. 75 metres. That was ridiculous. I got a massive Coke Zero here. How good. These are just huge. They're huge cups over here. Now, the Tigers, they'll be 18 metres out, 4th tackle. This is like American sizing in Bangkok. Just whopper. Like, this is the large. This isn't like the extra large that you can get as well. I thought the large was just going to be that normal size that we have in Australia. So out to the right, and it gives to Alex Twell. Twell to Dewey. Dewey then Stafford Toa, and Toa's going to be 3 metres out, fit tackle. It will be switch over. The Warriors already get their bye. Yes, the Warriors. Everyone receives their bye as soon as the first game of the round kicks off. So every single team has already received their bye points. It happens as soon as the first game kicks off. Nate Chase is live now. I've been trying to tell you for so long, Nate. That's why I tell people in the chat, please click on, tell them to go live, because he's 5 minutes behind. Third tackle. Did you at least get to watch the try with us, or did that have to be skipped out? All right, Nafahu White to the 40 on 4th tackle. Tedesco. To be fair, the Roosters have been quite ill-disciplined so far. They've given up a few penalties. Is it, what, 2 or 3 already? Possession's definitely switched around quite significantly now. What is it? Yeah, 2 penalties conceded already from the Roosters. Not good, but this is very Roosters-like. What's not Roosters-like is their completion rate right now, which is very good. First tackle for the Tigers at the 25. Now to the 35 for Charlie Staines, the try scorer. I can hear the drums. Get around Luke on the drums. By the way, Jay, I know you'd know this. Does Brendan still go to all? Does Hainsey still go to all the games? I don't, like, because I know obviously he lives in Queensland. Oh, that's a massive hit there, and it's a knock on from the Tigers. Oh, that is a ridiculously strong hit, but it will be called a high tackle here. Egan Butcher has just romped him, but this is going to be the 3rd penalty the Roosters are going to give up. And, oh, dude, that's a soft penalty, man. That's a soft penalty, dude. That was a great tackle. Benny the Lies, he loves that. I don't know what he was doing just then. But, like, obviously he lives in South East Queensland. I know he's got his issues with the chook pen, so I didn't know if he was still going to all the games or or he streams from Southeast Queensland, or he just sits somewhere else. I'm not too sure. I disagree. This is a penalty, though. Like, I thought this was just a great tackle there. There's no way you claim that as a penalty. Like, he hits him in the shoulder there. Like, I don't know. I thought that was just a solid tackle. And the Tigers are going to go for the 2 here, which makes sense to obviously make it 8-0. Oh, I tell you what, Dragons fans, you love this. Yeah, shout out to the Dragons fans for the 2-point penalty. Big fans of the 2-point penalty. Oh, by the way, my friend had another fight last night in Hua Hin. I wasn't obviously there for it, but he won in the first 10 seconds with a spinning elbow. Jeez. And the Tigers will get the penalty, and they'll be up 8-0 with 22.5 minutes to go the first half. Greg Munt says, surely the Roosters would have challenged that. Oh, look, I don't know what they would have called, though, because, like, technically it is shoulder. Like, I think that knowing... I don't know how the bunker would have adjudicated that. I don't believe that was a high tackle. I don't believe that was a penalty. However, what I believe means jack shit, realistically. Hazy is usually at the games. Gotta love a 2-point thriller. Massive 2-point thriller, Nath. Massive. This is what you tune in for. But yeah, within 10 seconds, I was considering going back to Hua Hin for it. But obviously I'm off to Vietnam tomorrow, so I can't go all the way back down there. It's only like a 3-hour drive, but that ends up being a 6-hour, and it was wild enough as it was in Bangkok last night. But geez, within 10 seconds with a spinning elbow to knock the guy out is crazy. He fights in Bangkok in like 3 weeks, so I'll probably fly back from Vietnam for a couple of days just to go watch him in Bangkok. The Tigers are away here. They'll be taken down at the 40 on 4th tackle. And this is a really good set here from the Tigers. Terrell May, he's gone behind a player there. They're gonna allow it to play on. If the Tigers score here, you got to bring it back. Wow, the Tigers are actually lucky they didn't score because that should have been an obstruction. The Tigers kick it through, and what a set from the Tigers. But unfortunately, it'll go straight to the Roosters there with a pretty poor kick and another penalty. Oh my gosh, dude, get the whistle out of your mouth, man. The Roosters are getting away 4 penalties in the first 19 minutes here. Damn, there is a lot of penalties here. I want to see if this is legit. What is he called here? Like, what a great set there from the Tigers, but how many penalties are there here? Now, Terrell May, he's going to be 5 metres out from the line. Was Bloodsport based in Thailand the good old... What? What are you saying? So I don't know what you mean. Bloodsport? I'm not too sure. Jimmy Marr says, I want to see a team take a 2-point penalty goal every time they get a penalty in their own 40 metres. Well, I don't know about that one. Dewey will be about... Oh, he's lost the ball. He's lost the ball, and it'll be Nwanga to Wase. Just take it out to the 10. That is a knock-on. A knock-on from the Tigers. 20 minutes gone in the first half. 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I think he tried to reach out here for a try, maybe, and then, yeah, no, he's... Maybe not reached out for a try, but the ball was knocked out. Olivia says, alright, Beetlejuice, get off the whistle now. NRL replays, why are you spamming? Nate says, Bloodsport, the movie, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh, okay, that's a bit before my time. I know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is, but I don't think I've ever watched Bloodsport. Alright, Savala gives it to Daniel Tupou, and Tupou will now bring it to the 15. 4 penalties in 20 minutes from the Roosters is insane work. And last 10 minutes possession-wise has been 87% of the Tigers, 13% of the Roosters. Bloodsport is old school. Yeah, well, if you're talking was it Jean-Claude Van Damme or Jean? Oh, I don't know why I'm even questioning it. Like, you guys would know more, but I know the last name, Claude Van Damme. Jimmy Masters, you probably said it a bunch, but why are you overseas? Because I want to. I want to enjoy life, man. Oh, you're still young. Well, you're still... To be fair, Thailand's a place that doesn't matter how old you are. Actually, the older you are, arguably the better over here, to be fair. But not just because I want to enjoy life, man. Gone to plenty Titans games and watched us lose over the years. Gone to plenty... Oh, Taruva will knock the ball on. inside his own 10, and it will allow the Roosters back into this one. Now, I've seen Sydney a bunch of times. I've seen Melbourne a bunch of times. Been Newcastle plenty, Brisbane, obviously Townsville a couple of times now, and I've been all up and down the east coast of Australia. I obviously went to New Zealand last year for the first time, which was awesome, and I'm a big traveller, man. So it's like I can still stream and watch the games and enjoy it from here in Bangkok. I was able to stream while I was in buddy India, in Jaipur and Delhi and Udaipur and Agra and all that, and I'll be able to stream while I'm in Vung Tau in Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh. So I'm able to do what I do and able to travel and enjoy. First tackle now, 4 metres out, and they give it to. Oh, geez, a couple of these players I'm actually not even too sure about because they are, youngsters coming through. That was Celeste Faghetti. That's going to be 6 again for the Roosters. Savalo, Tedesco gets it out to the winger, Toby Rodwell, and he'll be 4 metres away from the line. He's scared of Beijing Perth. Yeah, well, I've been to Beijing Perth before, mate. I have been for a university water polo competition back when I was like 21, 20. I don't really remember much of Perth though. What are they doing? Roosters just kicked the ball on second tackle. What are they doing? Benaya Uelu just kicked the ball on second tackle straight to the Tigers. So now they're coming off their own line, second tackle for 6 metres out. Ridiculous. Mate, you got to watch Bloodsport. It's a timeless classic. Does it hold up? You've always got to ask this question. Does it hold? So I was right, Jay. It is Gene. So Nath was wrong, and I was right. The young blood beats the old blood, Nath. Don't forget it. Because isn't it like Jean-Claude Van Damme? Damn, Nath. Deary me, I had it over you. Fit tackle, they didn't get to the 30. They're only 25 metres out from their own line, and that'll be Adam Dewey kicking this one down the guts to James Tedesco, and he'll get back to the 20, 25 to the 30, 35. Good run. Jean-Claude. Take that, Nath. Take that! Pussy. Listen. I've been there before, mate. Again, I don't remember much of it because there was water polo to be played, but it wasn't really about the water polo at the time. How dare you go overseas? Should result in jail time. Give it time, mate. Give it time, Greg. Give it time. Oh, for gosh sake, and that's a typical Roosters play. Knock on, and the Tigers are away here. Tigers are away here. Tigers are away. They're going to score under the post. They're going to score under the post here, and it's 12-0 with a kick to come. And Roosters, mistakes, this is what happens in their games. They are frequent with their mistakes. They always drop the ball. They always create errors. And the Tigers today, they've been able to lap onto them. Now, look, the penalties have been super questionable against the Roosters, and there has been quite a lot of them. But the Tigers have just been the better team so far as well. And yet another error. This is why I say both the Broncos and the Roosters are the same team, but they just usually end up getting the 2 points. This isn't looking too great here for the Roosters in regards to getting the 2 points, but both the Broncos and Roosters make a bucket load of errors, and I'm just glad that someone's actually, taken them to the rafters for it. Because most teams, when the Roosters play them, despite all their errors, the other team doesn't capitalise on it. The Tigers have capitalised on that. It's Gene, but I just call him John. No, Nath. That's like me saying your name's Nath, but I'm going to call you Barry. So I'm going to call you Barry. Barry J. Evanuel says, but we have hope for the Roosters. Well, yeah, there's a long way to go in this game. There's 15 minutes to go the first half. Plenty of time to go, but this is looking pretty ugly for Sydney at the moment. GT says, lots of fun when Adam Dewey might be the halves the Tigers need. It's not happening, bro. Jerome Luai is in their halves. I think that Luai has to sacrifice his desperate want and desperate need to play the halfback and just, put yourself into the 5/8 and let Latufonu be the 7 because Latufonu is more of a 7 they're kind of very similar in a lot of ways, but I would say that Latufonu is more of a 7 than Luai as a 7. This is fair enough, mate. Tell ya, Gene, Jord, Nath, Barry. Barry from the Botlow. Unbelievable. So Roosters now will kick it off down 14-0. Again, I do think that the penalties have been questionable against them, but it's just the same old Roosters. It's just this time they're not scoring points. This time they're just not looking good enough. This is what, like, the Tigers, with all their off-field stuff and on-field stuff of late, maybe this was to be expected. Like, I did say 60-40 Roosters, and I did tip the Roosters because they've still been able to win games even when they had their origin players out, but maybe the Tigers just have been due for a win. 6 losses in a row. Their last win coming at Magic Round at Suncorp Stadium. Maybe they are. I don't know. I wasn't expecting them to be up 14-0 though in the first half. But the Roosters have done jack shit. The Roosters have done nothing. They've done nothing. Rabbitohs Manly. I'm going to tip Manly. I think Manly should win that one quite comfortably. If Manly have had some really bad form throughout the season, surely at some point they click with their roster. Now that they've moved Tom Trbojevic to the centres, they've got Lee Harper-White in the fullback, Luke Brooks and Ches in the halves, and the only issue is that they're missing Ola Kawatu, really. But overall, Manly's team on paper should be killing the Rabbitohs team on paper today. Greg says, wouldn't be a Tigers season without at least a 6+ game losing streak. That is correct. That is correct. Well, they are equal last right now, but it's just that the other teams below them have lost by bigger margins. And the Tigers actually wouldn't even be close points differential-wise to those teams if it wasn't for that 64-0 loss to the Melbourne Storm 5 weeks ago, or 6 weeks ago. Bloodsport holds up and is better than most martial arts movies of all time. I don't mind martial arts movies, but like it's not my go-to. But I guess while I'm here in Thailand, I may as well. I'm going to continue at a Muay Thai gym just for a bit of fun. Oh, you know what's funny? I never expected Dewey out to the right, and he will get taken down to the 45 on the Roosters side of the field. I never came here for any kind of like Muay Thai. Like it just, so many people come here to train and do that. I just thought that it would be a little bit too, just wouldn't be what I was into. But then I did some with the retreat that I was in. They're throwing the ball off the sideline. Grassy McGrass for the Tigers. Roosters got the ball. Wouldn't be a Roosters game without either team, both teams, and especially the Roosters making mistakes. But Tigers throw the ball to Grassy McGrath off the sideline. But yeah, I came over here. I didn't even expect to really care for it at all, but I actually love it. Like I think it's great fun to do, and I understand why people enjoy training in it now. Jay says, we all know you didn't go for the Muay Thai. Shut up, man. Second tackle here at the 45. Think about the polar opposite countries I've gone to, though. Like, I've gone, oh, for gosh sake, Roosters, and knock on again. Oh, Roosters, mate. You are a pain to watch, dude. You are a pain to watch, dude. GT says Muay Thai is fun as. Yeah, but I didn't think it was gonna necessarily be. Like, I'm not a big like I'm not really into the whole. Oh, to be fair, I do love a bit of UFC and I do love a bit of boxing, but I just didn't think it was gonna be something that I was interested in. Now I want to keep going with it. And then when I go to Beijing, Perth, I'm gonna teach Jay. Not in a good way though, just a little bit of something, a little bit of something. Jay, get ready. Second tackle now for the Tigers. They're 20 metres out. I would actually enjoy the Tigers just slapping the Roosters today, to be fair, because this has been coming with their error rate. With their error rate, this has been coming. The Tigers are 9 metres out from the line, third tackle. 10 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. They'll like to find who'll give it to Seyfarth, who'll just literally do a ballerina dance around the 10. Jared Choi's those clumsy Roosters. This happens every week, dude. The teams they play never capitalise on all their errors. And it's not like the Knights. Oh, they've actually scored. The Tigers have scored. It's 18-0. They're get to come. Oh, Roosters, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing, Sydney? Their tries are coming off the back of Roosters knock-ons. I'm so glad that other teams are capitalising on it. Because if you watch the Roosters games, they get 2 points. They find ways to win, even with their origin players out. But in their wins, they make like 12 to 15 errors a game. That's why they have the third most errors in the competition. And if we go to the stats from the season so far, like I did before, click on teams, we'll go down to the negative. Where is it? Negative play. Okay, so the Knights are at 211. The Cowboys are at 207. The Roosters are at 183. They've made four errors so far today. So they'll be at 187. They're really pushing up towards that top of the table in errors. And that's saying something considering that the Knights have been the Knights this season. The Roosters have played 14 games. The Knights have played 16. There you go. So the other team is the Cowboys there. The Cowboys have played 16 games. The Roosters have played 2 less games than them. So they are not at the same level, but probably going to be down by about 10 errors if they were 10 to 5 errors on the top 2 worst error-ridden teams in the competition if they have both their games made up for them. Try time, bing bong, mana bish, Brocky, exactly right. Mana bish. Blaze just likes to watch people fight for their dinner. Fight for their dinner? What am I missing here? Olivia, Grass McGrass always has a blinder in these games. Grass McGrass always has a blinder. Brenton says, did someone say Knights? I don't think you want me to remind and speak about it again, considering it wasn't a positive statistic that I was referring to, Brenton. But yes, there was someone who mentioned the Knights. It was me. Yeah, no, it was me. Put my hand up. That was guilty as charged. But it's just not something that you probably want me to reiterate and re-emphasize in regards to the metric that I was utilizing. I'm trying to figure. What do you mean fight for their dinner though? Like what? Fight for their dinner. What are you referring to, Jay? What are you referring to? Oh, it's a knock on. Grassy McGrass is unbelievable, baby. Oh my gosh, it's generational. It's generational from Grassy McGrass. Put your hands up for the Muddy Tigers. A knock on City. Oh my goodness me. How many errors has there been in this game? There has been 11 errors in this game already. The Tigers are about to be on 7 errors in this game. Well, Acidic says it's an epic blockbuster. Okay, I get what you're referring to. Tedesco now, he'll bring this ball to the 10 metres. First tackle. They have to score before half time. How drunk and high have you been? Yes. Roosters now! They will score, I think. I don't know, actually. No, he's been held up. Oh, jeez, that was very close. So second tackle, and it will be the Roosters ball at the 10. And when you went to the first fight at the pub, winner wins a free feed. First fight at the pub. Yeah, my brain's gone, mate. So Roosters now 10 metres out. My brain's gone. I couldn't even tell you Nate J's name. I think it's Barry at this point. Roosters now. They're 5 metres out, third tackle. But I'm not like bad hungover today. Like I'm kind of feeling like that fresh hungover feeling. Roosters now 8 metres away on 4 tackle. Their attack has been just pitiful today so far. You're off your head. I am, mate. I am. Roosters, 5th tackle now, 5 metres away from the line. I don't get hangovers. Olivia, come on. Olivia, come on. Come on. And that's Tigers' ball. The Roosters just not... Oh, it's going to be a penalty here to the Roosters for a escort. Good $60 OJs. Oh, man, tell you what, that was awesome last night. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, actually, I'll get the Instagram link so you guys can go jump on. I put the story up. I'm basically Brad Cooper at this moment. I am Bradley Cooper at this point in time. I took the photo. I am Bradley Cooper at the top of the sky bar. The Roosters here 3 metres out from the line on first tackle. Hold on. 6 again for the Roosters. Surely you're able to find a way here. There we go. And then we will pin that. All right, Roosters short. And they're going to be held up again. They've been held up quite a bit today. That'll be second tackle. They'll have to go back to the 10. So I put on my story the picture of me as Bradley Cooper from The Hangover 2 at the top of the sky bar. That place is beautiful, by the way. Very expensive. But we got let off. 1 second. Second tackle. Out to Hugo Savala. Short ball. Oh, my gosh. This is good defense in the Tigers too, though. Egan Butcher gets taken down a metre out. They go short side. No one to Wase. He's going to be 4 metres away from the line. Forward tackle. This is actually pretty decent defense from the Tigers as well. Fit tackle, and they'll be 7 metres away from the line. Roosters, you have to score before half time, otherwise you're going to be on the dribbler brigade for sure. Savala puts up for Tupou. He's usually good for it, and he's good for it today. That's a try time for the Roosters. That's a try time for the Roosters. And it is 20-4 to the Tigers with a kick to come to Sydney. They're not necessarily back into the game just yet, but if they could score again before halftime, then you could start to bring it back within reason. But as soon as that ball goes up into the air, you just know Daniel Tupou is pretty good for it. Like, he's just perfect when it comes to the high ball on the attack. You know, he was able to kill the Sharks with it the other week. He's able to kill most teams with it every week. He's killed the Tigers just now over Charlie Staines. And he's got a massive reach advantage there over Charlie Staines. He looks much taller than him. He's got a bigger frame. He puts his body in the right position. If they want to keep going this side, I reckon they get him done all day. Yeah, there's no one stopping that, Greg. Like, Daniel Tupou's the best in the business when it comes to the high ball. Well, it's between Daniel Tupou, Xavier Coates, those kind of guys. Brenton says Olivia doesn't get hangovers because she's always drinking. This is also a very valid point that you make, Brenton. This is a very extremely valid point that you make. It says, who do you think is going to win? The error count. James, did you lose Biden or did you stay at home? Oh, where is it? Oh, where is it? Ah, I found it. I can see it. I can run and get it. Oh, well, it's 4 minutes to go until halftime. I may as well just wait until halftime, then I'll run and get it. NRL Holmes, how are you watching this game? With my eyes. On watchnrl.com, which you can't watch in Australia because it's not able to. Oh, that will curl away and hit the post, so it will stay 20-4, 16-point game. It's in your pocket, and it's not. It's about maybe 10 metres away from me. Maybe 10 metres away from me, which is too far, mate. I need it. I need it. I need my herbal inhaler. But no, I took the photo up on the rooftop, and that place is just unbelievable. But it was great, because obviously those drinks are all extremely expensive, but a friend of mine is actually staying at that hotel. So because he's staying at the hotel, he got 2 free drinks. Wait, was that being on the screen just then? Pan the camera to there. Well, I'll just get it in a second. But he got 2 free drinks with his hotel room. So we got the Hangover Teeny, which I think was it cost like 3,000. No, it was like 6,800 baht for the Hangover Teeny, but we got it for free. 6,800 is like 680, 340, about 340 Australian dollars for it. Just under 340 Australian dollars, but we got it for free. When he had the free drink, he's just like, I'm going to look for one of the more expensive things here. Like, we could have gotten a really expensive wine or whatnot, but I'm not a big wine drinker. I wasn't even a massive fan of that drink either, but it was expensive and it was free. So 4 tackle now at the 50. 6,800 gee whiz. Have you been, Brenton? Did you go to the Sky Tower? The Labua Sky Tower in Bangkok? Fit tackle at the 40. And Roosters whack it up. Sunatarova will grab it though, and it'll be taken down at the 10 with 3 minutes to go here the first half. And replay says, love watching your streams, can't wait to watch your next one. Appreciate you, mate. There is no one stopping that. Tigers will find a way to choke. That is a Tigers thing to do, but surely not. Not against an Origin to play the Roosters team. Haven't been to Bangkok. You went to Thailand, but you didn't go to Bangkok? Oh, do you only go to Koh Samui and stuff? You only went, like, Phuket, like, down south. I get it. Bangkok's amazing, though. Like, I don't think I could live in Thailand, but, like, Thailand is great as long as you just... A lot of guys fall into the trap of this country, man. A lot of guys fall into the trap. This is a heavy trap country here, man. So the Roosters now beat the 18. The amount of stories of like expats, like older expats who come here with bucket loads of money. You know, they've got the women there, they've got the partying, the weed, the drinks, the beautiful beaches and stuff. And mate, I tell you what, the amount of guys, the sad stories that you hear of guys coming over and just getting extorted effectively. Penalty to the Roosters. Penalty to the Roosters. Is that the first penalty of the game? I think it is. It might be the second penalty. But it is a penalty here to the Roosters, which will get them within range in the last minute 40. I'd go to Bangkok next time I head over, yeah. Yeah, you have to. When I come back, obviously I'm going to watch my mate fight in Bangkok, and then I want to go down to Koh Samui. Or even head up to Chiang Mai, to be fair. All right, good run here from the Roosters. They're 18 metres out. If they score here, Tigers, that's rough because you've dominated them in the first half. Hugo Savala to James Tedesco. James Tedesco to Mark Nwanga to Wase. Nwanga to Wase. Nwanga to Wase will score. It's 20-8 with a kick to come. Oh, Tigers, don't do it to yourselves. You're up 20-0 in the first half, in the first 30 minutes of the game. It's now going to be 20-8 with a kick to come. The Roosters are now back within 12, and I can't fathom this team. This Roosters team, I just don't know. I just don't know how to explain it. They are so awful, but can be so good. That's also pretty poor defense from the Tigers, and it's a good try there from Nwanga Tawase, but Nwanga Tawase just shoves off one, shoves off two, goes through three. Sonia Todora is definitely not a fullback, that's for sure. And the Roosters are back in the game. NHS, I've never been on a plane, let alone bloody Bangkok. Never been on a plane. I reckon just catch a plane from Penrith to get on a plane from Penrith to Parramatta. That's what you do. Jay says Tig switched off just before halftime. Not good. It's not good to give up one try in the last 5 minutes, let alone two. Especially when you had the game pretty much won if you just held out 20-0 at halftime. That's the Tigers we all know. That is the Tigers we know, Greg. That is the one. Like, it's the bad defense, but it looks so difficult to deal with. Nwanga Tawase is a very strong figure. I would expect him to play for Fiji in the internationals at the end of the year. Good old rugby union convert and good old conversion made by the Roosters. So it is going to be a 10-point game at half time. 10 minutes ago, you never would have thought this was going to be happening. It was 20-0 to the Tigers, but the Roosters have just rocketed back into the game with two quick tries before half-time. Let's get into these half-time stats, which are going to probably be pretty ugly. Obviously, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here. And, God help us as we look through these stats. Possession-wise is literally 50-50. These stats will update at half-time, so these are just a guide. 11 minutes 39 time possession for the Roosters, 11 minutes 33 for the Tigers. Completion rate, 15 from 18 for the Roosters, 83%. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like they've had 4 errors and not four incomplete sets, but I'm probably wrong. That's the stats we've got here. So they're at 83%, which is actually really good, which is a surprise. 72% for the Tigers at 13 from 18. That is not that great. That is getting close to the 60s, and if you're even close to the 60s, you know you're not performing too great in regards to completions. All runs, 69 for the Roosters, 89 for the Tigers. So how on earth is it 50-50 possession rate if there's 20 more runs for the Tigers? That is a lot more runs. But it's 21 more runs, sorry. 68 here for the Roosters at 592 run meters and 216 post-contact, with the Tigers at 89 runs, 878 run meters and 275 post-contact. So if you try to equal it out, 10 meters per run on average, put it by 21, so 210 meters to try and equal it out, 89 runs. If the Roosters had the same amount of ball, 210 meters, 592, 692, 792, they would be at 802. So they're still down by a good old 70, 80 run meters to the Tigers, even if the possession was equaled out. So that's quite disappointing there for the Roosters. They haven't been doing well at all in the middle of the field and making those meters. And post-contact, now it's 19 runs, 89-70. It's 275 to 226. That's pretty similar. I think the Tigers would still be up by about maybe 15 odd meters, 15-20, but it's not too drastic there. But the Tigers are definitely winning the meter battle between the runs and the post-contact. Line breaks is 3-1 Tigers. Tackle breaks is 14-7 Tigers. So that is pretty dramatic there. It's not an awful amount of missed tackles, though, from the Roosters. 14 isn't too crazy, but it's not great. It's not too crazy. Average set distance, anything under 25, we end the stream at halftime. Luckily, there's no team with that. From 25 to 30, it is, wouldn't even split it. 30 to 35, average set distance is underwhelming, not great. 35 to 40 is bare average, just flat line. That's what you would expect, and that's what you would hope to see, at least from your team. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic, and 50 plus is unbelievable. The Roosters are at 35.2 average set distance per set. So that is extremely low tier on the expectation level. They are this close. They are 0.2 off being on the underwhelming amount of average set distance. So it's not really, they're not getting a great deal of meters, which is why you can see that even if you equal out the runs with the run meters to try and compare with the Tigers, they are still down by about 70 to 80 meters. And that's also proof in the pudding when you look at the Tigers' average set distance, which is 48.81, which is very good. That's fantastic. That's upper end fantastic. That's getting towards like a perfect half in regards to how many meters you're making on an average set. 48.81 to 35.2 explains the score, but it would have explained the score more so if it was at 20 to 0. 20 to 10 shows that this game has just switched like that. And it's very nerve-wracking because it's only 10 points and the Tigers have dominated every statistic that we're talking about so far. Tackle breaks, line breaks, run meters, post-contact meters. Only one they're missing at the moment is completion rate. And then obviously the average set distance is just whopper. 35.2 is just okay. And then 48.81 is fantastic, nearly close to a perfect half at 50. So that tells you a lot, but the scoreline now is just... It makes you really concerned as a Tigers fan. Average play the ball speed is 3.17 for the Roosters, 3.32 for the Tigers. Tigers at 3.32 is actually quite pacey. That's really fast. But 3.17 is extremely fast there for the Roosters. So both teams are playing the ball at a very fast rate, but the Roosters are going extremely fast with the play the ball. 5 offloads to 1 Tigers way. Then you go to the kick defusal of 100% for the Roosters, 40% for the Tigers. That's good for the Chooks. 1-1 forced dropouts. Effective tackle percentage, 88% is the minimum flatline marker that you need to be expecting. 90% and above is fantastic. The Roosters 89.45%, so they're on the upper end of what you'd be expecting. So they're pretty happy with that. It's I'd say it's close enough to being very, very good. It's not very, very good. It's not at the 90, but it's close enough. 178 tackles made for 14 missed tackles and 7 ineffective. So 21 bad tackles in the first half. 178 tackles made in total. Yeah, look, you take it. It's not awful. Despite the fact they're down by 20, that just shows that individual lapses are what's costing them. And ultimately, it's the errors that's costing them because the errors that they've given up, 2 tries have been scored directly off the back of a knock-on from the Roosters. 1, quite literally, was a knock-on into a Tigers player who then ran 60 metres, 50 metres to score a try off that play. So it's the errors, again, that is hounding into the Roosters. And that's why it's like, I believe this team does make finals. I do think this team gets there. But I think that there is a 0% chance of them winning the comp this year unless they can really, hone in this error rate. Because the error rate is dramatic for the Roosters. They are on the same level as the Knights and also the Cowboys, and look at how their seasons have gone. I know the Storm are very close by, but it doesn't look so evident and so obvious with the Storm. It looks very evident and obvious that Grassy McGrath's having a great game when the Roosters are playing. The Tigers, on the other hand, they are playing fantastic defense at the moment. 94.67% is incredible. That is a really high marker. You're never going to see, like, if you see a team get 100% at halftime, which I think we have seen before, but if you see a team get 100% at halftime, that is just outstanding. You can't even explain it. 94.67% is extremely good. Extremely good. Like, through 160 tackles made, 7 missed tackles and 2 ineffective, they are under 10 bad tackles in the entire first half, combining missed and ineffective. That is very good defense from the Tigers. So they'd be quite disappointed that it's only a 10-point game, and they'd be quite disappointed they let those last 2 tries in, which I'm assuming they probably... Oh, no, they would have had 3 or 4 missed tackles from that Nwanga Tuase try. So they would have been around 3 or 4 missed tackles in total for the first half without that Nwanga Tuase try. So that would have been around the 97%. That would have been around 97-98% their defensive effective tackle percentage without the Nwanga Tuase try, which is amazing stuff. So Tigers defense, and you've seen it, it's been quite evident in this game. The Tigers defense has been pretty top-notch. Errors-wise, I don't agree with it. I don't think they've given another error to the Roosters. The Roosters are at 3 errors, which is extremely low. It's actually really good. But I'm pretty certain they're at 4, but they haven't just updated it. So 3 errors to the Roosters, 6 errors to the Tigers. That is pretty basic. That's pretty much what most teams... That's pretty much where most teams sit at. Like, it's not like it's an awful error count. Like, it's not that you want 6 errors by any means, but it's not getting towards Brenton, the Newcastle Knights, not getting towards their like 10 errors and a half kind of deal. Penalties conceded is 4-2 against the Roosters. All those penalties came in the first like 10, 15 minutes of the game. A couple of them were very controversial, and I disagree with them. One of them leading to 2 points for the Tigers to take them from the 18 to the 20. Yeah, look, I disagree with a couple of those penalties conceded. But with that being said, they haven't conceded a penalty since, so they've really locked in since then, and only the 2 for the Tigers is pretty good. And then ruck infringements is 2-1 against the Tigers. So across these stats, the Tigers are having a very good game. Like, if you look specifically at the stats, they're having a great game. Completion rate needs a lot of work at 72%, but the run meters, they are dominating the Roosters. Post contact, they are beating the Roosters decently. Line breaks, they're beating them. Tackle breaks, they're dominating them. Average set distance, they are whooping their ass. Speed of the play of the ball is a pretty good speed there for the Tigers. Offloads, they're dominating them. And defensively, they're absolutely slapping them. So the only thing that their issue is their errors and their completion rate. If the Tigers can keep that in line for the second half, they go on to win this game based off of the stats at half time. Because the Roosters, these stats aren't good for them. But yet they're only down by 10, and they've scored 2 tries to bring it back right before the half. So the game's still on here. The game's still on, but those stats suggest potentially otherwise. Evanuel says, we come on to Roosters. Yeah, maybe. Here come the Chooks. Here they come. Nate J's evidently not getting on planes, Brenton. That's a good point. That is a very good point, actually. Yeah, no, Nath, you are spot on there. Mitchell says, sure, they get a standing ovation. Hey, Mitchell, that's a very Tigers thing to do. The only issue that I find with that is that when the Tigers gave their team a standing ovation, I think it was against the Newcastle Knights in round 1 when they were up 8-0 at halftime, or was it 10-0? They ended up losing that game like 12-10. So I don't think the old standing ovation is a good job. Unless you're a Knights fan or you're a Sharks fan, that's when you boo your team at halftime. You know what, Tigers fans? I reckon boo your team at halftime because a standing ovation didn't work in round 1. Well, let's switch it up. When the Knights were down 16-0 to Manly at home at halftime, they booed their team and they came back and won 24-20 or whatever it was. It might have been 26-22 with a Kamaponga late try. And then with the Sharks versus the Dragons, the Sharks were down 18-0 at halftime at home, and their fans booed them, and they came back to win that game 30-18. So I don't care that you're up 20-10 here, Tigers. I don't want to see not one of you stand up in your seat and give a standing ovation because that last 5 minutes wasn't great. I don't want to see one person stand up and give a standing ovation. I want to see you boo your team despite being up by 10. Really kick it into them. You know, make sure they understand it's still not good enough so they win this game. Standing ovations don't work. Booing your team apparently does. Chelsea says, I bet heavy on the Roosters. What is going on? Are they going to win? I have no knowledge of this sport. Okay, well, Chelsea, let me let me really unpack this comment here. Okay, firstly, you know nothing of this sport, but you've bet heavy on the Roosters. You've bet heavy on a sport that you don't know. So that's your first mistake. Your second mistake is this game was not 50-50. This game was like 60-40 Roosters way before the game started. There is all of the Roosters' best players in the game, besides maybe Tedesco. All of the Roosters' best players aren't playing in this game because we've got State of Origin on Wednesday and they're playing in it. Whilst the Tigers, they have a lot of injuries and a lot of players out. No Origin and whatnot. But I know the ladder position suggests the Roosters should win, but in the Origin period, this is why you need to know the sport. In Origin period, you don't bet heavy on teams with all their players out. So maybe this is why you should tune into this channel because there's a lot more context behind this game. A lot more context. But look, the Roosters can still win this game. They've scored 2 tries in the last 5 minutes there. They haven't been good though. But my advice to all the gamblers out there is that if you are gambling on sport, if you're doing it on Rugby League, you should tune into these streams so I can tell you that there are players out. But also, secondly, probably don't bet your life savings on Origin rounds. Probably don't do that. Olivia says, this is why we bet responsibly, kids. I hope you haven't lost your couch on the multi. Well, I've got no couch in here, so I probably have lost it on the multi. Jared Choices Fiji giving the Wallabies a good run for their money. Tosso Viti. Is that, let me have a look, Fiji Rugby. 20-14 Fiji with 20 minutes to go. Good stuff. Get around Fiji. you know, in these test matches and whatnot, like when it comes to a World Cup or it comes to the Tri-Nations, Four Nations, whatever it is now, I'll always get behind the Wallabies, but I would always, back in Fiji regardless. That's a win-win for me. You know, I don't really mind who wins that. If it's a World Cup final, I'm always going to be backing Australia in any sport. But if it's not a World Cup final or not a knockout game, then I will, always be happy for Fiji to get the dub. Brenton says we reduced our errors greatly this week. Yeah, Brenton. Yeah, no, the Newcastle Knights did. The Knights did reduce their errors greatly this week. That's usually a good benefit to playing the bye. When you play the bye, if you make any errors, that's a bit of a problem. That is a bit of a problem. So I was really impressed that the Knights were able to hold strong and not make any errors with the bye. The Roosters and the Tigers run out the field. Second half's about to start. I'm going to run over and get Jay's favourite herbal inhaler. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 sec. All right, we're back. We're back. Jay, I got it. Welcome to Thailand. Welcome to Thailand. Second half about to kick off. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new around here. We've got the next game, which is Manly versus the Rabbitohs, which is the last game of the weekend. And don't forget, guys, on Wednesday, it's going to be a massive game. Massive stream here. We'll be going live early, about an hour early, for the New South Wales versus Queensland decider. Game 3. GT says, "Woo, let's go Fiji." Can Sydney come back? Chance Go Crazy says, "Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's only a 10-point game." The West Tigers have won 3 wooden spoons in a row. They're currently equal last. And despite dominating the first half, are only up by 10, even though they're up 20-0 at one stage. So, yeah, there's still 40 minutes to go, mate. Even if it was 20-10 with 2 minutes to go, there's still a chance for the Roosters to come back. But you will see more errors from Sydney. This is what they do. They make a lot of errors all the time, and they still find a way to win and get 2 points. And that will be point proven to a T if they win this game today. It'll be point proven that even though they're not. I will say, even with a full strength team, the Roosters are not a fantastic rugby league team this year. They're not, but they are proving against the low expectations that we had for them with all their players going. But that is because the culture at the Roosters is very strong. However, the main thing with the Roosters this year is that they're just not that great, but they still find a way to win the games and get 2 points. So Roosters with the ball now, and it'll be second tackle. They get it to the 30 on their own side of the field. Nate J says, "Try disallow to Fiji because of a Wallaby player's foot out from a previous play leading up to the try. Video ref is too much." Well, that doesn't even make sense. Well, it does make sense, but it shouldn't make sense. Like that, to take away a try for the opposition team because of a mistake you made and that wasn't picked up on the field is just diabolical. And now Nafahu White will get past the halfway point. It happened, mate. No, I'm not saying that it didn't. I'm not denying you. I'm just saying that, yeah, that is... Video refs are needed, but not needed like that. That's the issue. When people complain, first tackle of the Tigers 25, people complain on Instagram and social media, YouTube, everywhere saying, "Oh, get rid of the bunker, get rid of the video ref." It's the most stupid comment. It's really stupid. And it's like, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it is a very stupid opinion in my opinion, right? And I'm entitled to my opinion on your opinion. Anyone who says no video ref or bunker, the amount of knock-on tries you will see, the amount of... oh, it's lost ball! That's going to be knocked back. 6 again here for the Tigers. 6 again for the Tigers. And that will be at the 40 on the Roosters side of the field, first tackle. I don't know why they're stopping the clock here. But if you take away the video ref, the easiest tries that should be 100% called... Why am I hearing ringing? Why is there a phone ringing in the commentary right now? What the hell was that? You need the bunker, you need the video ref to make the easy calls. And also the difficult calls. Like, you need them there. It's just that you need people in there who have an idea of what they're doing. Egan Butcher's going to have to come up for HIA. Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. That's so odd, though, that they just had a phone ringing. And it sounded like a phone from, like, the 1980s, 1990s. Abigail getting around the Roosters. Brenton says, when did the Chooks get Walker back? Well, he was meant to come back, like, 2-3 weeks ago. I think it was against the no, it was after that. He was meant to come back about 2-3 weeks ago. He's back from his ACL. It's just that he broke his wrist or something, I think, in training when he got back. So that's why. He's not there now. Second tackle now for the Tigers. No, he gets the offload away, Tyrell May. And Latufainu on second tackle will be taken out to 30. Frank Walker for National Tiles. That's a great ad. It's a great throwback. Kids nowadays never understand the beautiful Frank Walker. And they still won't understand Not Happy Jan. Not Happy Jan still... I think I used that yesterday, actually. Out of the left. Tigers here. Tries over the Tigers. Right on through. Fainu goes bang. And that was a great line. Samuela Fainu just runs straight through the line of the Roosters defense. And it's now 14-10 with a kick to come. 14-10 with a kick to come. GTs could Latu be the next Katoa with better defense. What? Latu Fainu be the next Isaiah Katoa. Well, the comparison is really odd and random. Like, what? Where? What? What the? What? 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 What is that? What? Could There are so many random comparisons that get brought up here. That just sent me for 6, mate. Look, what? When? What? What? I'm so confused. Casey says, hot take, if the Storm make the grand final, if they do, it's almost guaranteed they'll win it. How is that a hot take? David says, is it 14-10 or 24-10? It's gone on now. Oh, no, is the live score? No, 24-10. 24-10. I thought that might have been shown 14-10. No, it's 24-10. I can't believe I just saw Katoa and bloody Latu fine. Like, geez, you could buy a house if you had Tigers 13 plus. What were they paying, Nath? What were they paying? Olivia says, so Roosters on fraud alert? Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could put them on fraud alert. I don't know if I could do it. It's like they are heavily origin depleted. The Tigers are injured. I don't think that they're fraud alert based off of this. But I get the thought process. It's way too early to be making comparisons. Way too early. So 35 minutes to go here. Who has the best try celebration so far? I haven't really focused on what the celebrations are. I just enjoy seeing a celebration, so I know that the players are acknowledging it this year. Because they forget about it more often than not. One sec. They forget about it more often than not. $17 for 13 plus. Well, it's still 35 minutes to go here, and it's 16 points. So one try brings the Roosters underneath that. But $17 for 13 plus is wild. David, so I guess Benji punching up with the team during training is what was needed. Absolutely. Let's just say you hear it here first, Latu's next Katoa. No, what I'm taking from this is that you are a Tigers fan and that you are circle jerking the Tigers when it's like, fair enough, you're a Tigers fan, but the comparison makes no sense right now. The comparison makes no sense as we currently speak. But that's, you know, I could say that about Zane Harrison. Like, is it possible that Zane Harrison could be the next Nathan Cleary for the Titans? Sure. But also, it's the comparison. That's basically alluding to it's going to be Roosters ball here. Tigers. No, it's played up by the Roosters. So I think it's Tigers ball. Like the comparison that you made G2G team makes no sense. That's like alluding that Isaiah Katoa has done something. Isaiah Katoa's done nothing yet. Like, sure, the Dolphins, and he's been having a great season, but like he's been having a great season. It's not like he's had a fantastic career. He's still young and still fresh. To compare and say that Latufainu was going to be him, it's like, well, Isaiah Katoa's done fuck all so far. Like, how is Isaiah Katoa the benchmark for Latufainu to find when he hasn't even proven himself at all yet? Like, this is a great season that he's having, but it's like, this is the season. I don't understand it. It's why my brain just can comprehend what you're actually suggesting. I think this is a challenge here from the Roosters. David says, haven't been here for a few weeks. Got to say, Mr. Streamer, you're looking sharp these days. Thank you, David. Thank you, David, mate. You know, we're doing all right. Kicking around. But it's challenge successful, so it will be Roosters ball. Thank you, David. Bretton says, you sound like you're about to ask me for a massa. Bretton says, I seen Drinkwater's finger up for a wicket. Drinkwater's finger up for a wicket? Oh, true. Okay, I get what you mean now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you, GT, by the way? Do you understand why I'm so confused by the comparison? Because it's not having a go at you saying that Latifani can be great one day, because Latifani could be great one day. Just like Zane Harrison could be great one day, just like Hugo Savala could be great one day. Like that's fine. That comment's fine. It's the comparison that I take a little bit of a confusion to, because like Asaka Towa's done nothing yet to be looked at as if like he, like a young player should be compared to him. I also think Latifani has played a similar-ish amount of footy. No? Less by maybe like 5-10 games? You don't think Katoa's up there just yet? Correct. I need to see him do it more than just, you know, the half of the season. But he has had a great season. So the Tigers now will be taken down to the 22. William says, hi bro, how you going? Hope you're well, running late, go Tigers. Yeah, well, Tigers doing well in this game, mate. Tigers doing well. Definitely deserve to be in the lead here. He's an everyone fan, judging by your activity. Greg says, Fione's playing like 20 less games. Oh, 20. There you go. Because I know that Latufanu has been like, oh, Toruva's away. No, gets taken out to 45, 4 tackle on the Roosters side of the field. Because I know Latufanu has been like in and out quite a bit. Oh, the Tigers are killing him at the moment. 20 metres away from the line. Fit tackle. It's a high tackle. It's a penalty. I would consider taking the 2 here to make it 18 points. You'd consider taking the 2 here. We're making comparisons now. Oh, Jaden Campbell's the next Billy Slater. The only exception I take to that is that Jaden Campbell doesn't play fullback. Otherwise, I back ya. 32 minutes to go. They will take the 2 here. I just need to see it so I can keep on with it. But if you watch, you would have watched my Dolphin stream last week. I was all over him. We were getting a Circle Jerk Central going. Isaiah has been unreal this year. He's just not even close to the stage where people should be looking at him as like someone to compare to on like a big player level. But I'll be honest with you, if I'm looking at the 2 of them right now, sure, I'm going to say that I believe that the Katoa is better. But Latifanu has a great future ahead of him. But that's based off what I've seen. Katoa's 60 and Faianu only 14. That's wild. Surely more than 14 games. That's wild. I feel like, I know Katoa started a lot of last season and started this season, but I feel like he got dropped for a good portion of last season at 1.2, no? Was it like at the middle point of the year? I feel like they decided to, I feel like they took him out for a little bit. So that is a surprising change. Jesus says, my Dolphin/Tonga bias tells me Katoa is the best 7 in the game right now. He's a chance of winning the Dally M. I don't know where he was before closed doors. But before, can someone actually go and have a look and see where Isaiah Katoa was before the Dally M's went behind closed doors? Because obviously Luke Metcalf can't win anymore. 30 minutes to go the game here, guys. 28-10 to the Tigers. Hit that like button and subscribe. 30 minutes to go. Obviously Metcalf can't win anymore. Tedesco is up there and we'll have a shout at it. Isaiah Katoa should be in with a really red hot chance. However, it just depends on how far he was behind when it went behind closed doors. That's what the Dolphins website said. Oh no, I trust it. I'm just saying, like it's wild because Latifani's name has been around for a long time now. I just felt like I would have expected, but then it was more Galvin getting the spot. Galvin was getting the spot alongside Luai this season, and last year, no, Aiden's season wasn't there last year, was it? Aiden's season was the year before that one. Jeez, shit, it's all over the shop. Who was their halves combination last year? It wasn't Dewey. Dewey was like injured. Dewey's quite usually injured. Third tackle now for the Roosters at the 35. Was it? Shit, I can't remember. All right, so fourth tackle now for the Roosters at the 40. Who was the halves combination for the Tigers last year? Was Caesar. Caesar was there last year. Ooh, that's a 6 again for the Roosters on fit tackle at the halfway point. Brutal for the Tigers. Out the back, good passing. And they get to Daniel Tupou. And Tupou's going to bring this ball inside the 30. Second tackle. Chelsea says, yeah, the Roosters aren't going to win, right? Any chance? 18 points in 29 minutes is definitely doable, but they've got to get a bit of a move on. They don't want to go, basically, to give you any form of hope, they don't want to go in more than 2 tries down with 10 minutes to go. 3 tries with 10 minutes to go probably won't be happening, but the Roosters here! Oh, that's good defense! That's great defense. That's great defense. That is fantastic defense. That looked like a guaranteed try, but the Tigers come across clutch and stop the try from happening, and it was Latufone. So I don't think the Roosters win from here. I don't think they've been good enough. However, you just don't want to be down by more than 2 tries going into the final 10 minutes. And there's still 18 minutes to go until the final 10 minutes. Sometimes, there's also Jaden Sullivan, yeah. Jeez. You can understand why they finished what they did. Jaden Sullivan, Aiden Caesar, and Lachlan Galvin as a debutant. So 28 minutes left here of the game. And the Tigers just saved a good old try there. Willem says it's never over the Tigers. I agree with you. I definitely agree with that statement. However, the Roosters just don't look good enough today. They did score 2 tries in the last 5 minutes of the first half, however. So yes, the Tigers can clock off. But I don't know, they've come out here in this second half with a good emphasis. Like they've been solid here in the second half, which kind of shows that might have just been a little bit of a flurry for the Roosters. Surely the Tigers took performance enhancers before the game. Well, this is a decimated team, man. The Tigers are a decimated team at the moment. Roosters, obviously, all of their origin players out, but you're missing Api Koroisau, you're missing Jerome Lua, you're missing Dream Buller. Obviously, you've had that switch from Galvin in the last 5 weeks, and so like the Tigers have been a mess a lot again this season, and yet they're doing this right now again. Like I don't think this happens if they're playing a non-origin Roosters team right now. However, it is happening. This is what it is. It's how the draw folds. So 4th tackle now at the 35 for the Roosters. That's a penalty. Okay, well that's not good. That's just stupid. Referee just goes, you're slow. So penalty for holding down. The Roosters will now get inside the attacking half. Jared choice of Andrew Johns is voting, then Katoa is a shoo-in. If I'm voting, I would 100% be voting for Katoa. Who's been better than him so far this season? And again, even when they were 0-4 to start the season, I did think Katoa was playing really well. It's just the Dolphins weren't playing really well. Luke Lovelite at centre, Torov at fullback. What is this team? Second tackle now for the Roosters, 20 metres out. Isaiah Katoa, for me, does deserve the Dally M this year. Based off of the first 18 rounds. Brett says, this Roosters team have won without their origin stars this year, so good effort, Tigers. They beat the Sharks 42-16 without their origin stars. And the Sharks don't have any origin players. And they beat the Knights. Controversially, but beat the Knights. Out to James Tedesco. Tedesco, short ball. That's a stupid pass, dude. Straight to the Tigers. And this is why I can't see the Roosters winning. Like, this is just... Like, how can you say that's professional rugby league? You know, like, you're a top-tier team with a great culture, and, like, you do stuff like that. Willem says, too many frauds in the top 8 this year, to be honest. You're not wrong, Willem. Like, people have already been suggesting the Roosters should go on to frauds. The Seagulls are frauds. Warriors they're on fraud alert for sure. The Bulldogs, we've definitely seen why they've been on fraud alert. This team has been on fraud alert before. This team has been on fraud alert. This team has also been on fraud alert. And don't even start me on the Sharks. It pissed me off, the Sharks. Pissed me off, the Cronulla Sharks. Bloody scammers. Oh my gosh. Sharks really, they grind my gears, mate. Roosters definitely fraudsters. I just don't think you can with the way this game's played out. Like, yeah, I understand losing to the Tigers is never great, but I just can't put them on fraud, I don't reckon. Maybe if they conceded like 40 plus, maybe you'd consider it. But like the Roosters both teams have a lot of players out here. Tedesco, he will run it out to the right hand side. Should have got the offload away, third tackle. I reckon Tanner Boy will get a start next week, or will he just ride the pine again? Well, Tanner Boy's the only pure 7 they've got on the team. If they go with Tamati Martin and Chanel Harris Tavita, that's kind of like 2 6s. Tanner Boy's the only actual 7 right inside, and the Roosters are away here. They're at the 35, the 25, the 20, back on the inside. Hugo Savala with the try time. Hugo Savala will score, and the game might be back on here, ladies and gentlemen. 28-14 with a kick to come. 28-14 with a kick to come. 14 points of difference with 24 minutes to go here in the game. Cronulla Sharks, Calcutta call centres. Do you mean Kolkata as like Kolkata? Breton says, hard to put Chooks on fraud at the moment, maybe if it blows out to 40. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get the notion and thought process, but I don't think I can put him on the fraud alert for this game. Yeah, he did the old backwards shuffle. What's that called? I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a boomer. I was going to say gritty, but that's not right. I don't know what that means. I'm too old, lads. 31 years old. I'm getting too old, mate. Jesus, I hope the Wires give Tanner Boyd a crack. Yeah, I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. Alright, it's a big kick here. Big kick here for the Roosters. Sandon Smith. Heaps old. Jay, mate, I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer, mate. Kay says, I'm 23 and I don't even know what it's called. I feel old. You are old. You are old, mate. You should declare. Mate, I'm declaring. That was not the moonwalk, Brenton. No, you are actually a boomer if you're thinking that was the moonwalk. And the Roosters will get it through. So it is a 12-point game. 28-16 with 23 minutes to go. Olivia, I think she's saying that she's in Vegas. Or she's in America betting. A lot of Americans utilize Vegas when they're referring to like gambling agencies. But 23 minutes to go here at the game. 28-16 here to the Tigers. But the Roosters back into it. Brenton, if you genuinely think that was a moonwalk, you're off your rocker, and you've got to be at least in your 70s, mate. Well, as a Tigers fan, I'm sweating, mate. As a Titans fan, I feel you. I know how it feels to be in your position right now. Many times, too many times, actually nearly every time in every single game. I don't think there's ever been a game in the history of rugby league where I haven't been nervous being up by 40 with 3 minutes to go that we'll probably still lose the game. So Roosters now, first tackle to 15. Again, it's only a 12-point game. It was 18-0 Tigers at one stage. Then it was 28 to 10 Tigers just before, and now it's back within 12 points, and the Roosters are getting some serious momentum going here in this set. Third tackle at the 45. Olivia says, why was I thinking she was watching the Roosters game from last year and had bet solely based on that game? 6 again. The Roosters are on form here at the moment in this last couple of minutes. 6 again, 33 metres out. And Sandon Smith gives it across to Egan Butcher, then to Nafahu White. Oh, if the Roosters score here, Tigers fans, I feel ya. Nafahu White rolls it back. Zach Docker-Clay, Sandon Smith to Hugo Savala. Savala gives it out to James Tedesco. James Tedesco out of the right-hand side. Oh, don't get taken on the sideline. They're 5 minutes away from the line. Third tackle. Oh, my gosh. They score here. Nwanga to Wase to James Tedesco. Tedesco gives it out the back to Docker-Clay. Docker-Clay, short ball. Roosters still going. Should have got the offload away. Fourth tackle, 8 metres out. Docker-Clay goes it short. Tedesco. Oh, this is a broken down play. That was all your fault, Docker-Clay. All Docker-Clay's fault. Still, Roosters nearly score 1 metre away from the line. Zach Docker-Clay. Oh, my gosh. It's fit tackle, Roosters. What are you doing? Oh, this team is just... What is a back rower getting given the ball there, stopping in the play on fit tackle, and then just running into the line for a tackle? You had amazing amount of momentum just then, Amazing amount of momentum, and then you just... I lose my mind. I lose my mind watching. That was baffling. That was actually baffling what we just witnessed. Greg says, it's called the jerk, thanks Uncle Google. We've never known otherwise. Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, what? Tupou was calling for it. Well, they've gone to Tupou once today. And guess what? How many times they've scored when they've went to him once? Once. They have scored once from one kick that they've gone Tupou's side. Snixar says, could this be like the Broncos comeback on Friday? Yeah, sure. Obviously, Roosters coming back against the Tigers isn't as impressive as the Broncos coming back against the Dogs, but both teams have got many players out, so, like, sure. But the Roosters, they just have a strange team, man. 20 minutes to go here of the game, guys. 20 minutes to go. Hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget, we've got Manly versus the Rabbitohs right after this. And Tupou flicks out the back here. Sandon Smith. Sandon Smith's got numbers. He's got numbers. He's away. Taken down to 45. He should have passed that ball. They had the 3-on-2. And he decided to run himself. They're all offside here from the Tigers. Tedesco just runs this into the line. Oh, for gosh sake. Oh, my gosh, Roosters. Reminds me of when the Titans last played. They passed it to Gillard on the last, then Tino, and he kicked it. Welcome to Gold Coast. Nate Chase Wallabies just scored the Masters. Well, it's a win-win for me. Brenton says, Manly Rabbits will be an error game. I can see it now. Brenton, listen here, Mr. Novocastrian Knights fan. I don't want to be hearing you say anything about no other teams being error counts, all right? I don't want to hear nothing from the area of Maitland and Newcastle. The Novocastrian. Up it goes in the air. Drop back there for the Tigers. Roosters 6 again. Here we go. Oh, what? They're going to say knock on Roosters? I thought that was knocked back from the Tigers. That was a really good kick, though. Well, where was the knock on for the Roosters there? Am I drunk? Maybe. Maybe I might be drunk. I didn't see a knock on from the Roosters there. And also, yeah, exactly right, Liv. You get into a positivity, Brenton. And especially coming from a damn well Knights fan, I don't want to hear nothing from no Knights fans talking about how a game might be error-ridden that doesn't involve the Newcastle, Novocastrian, Maitland Knights. So third tackle for the Tigers at their own 30. William says, think Bunnies could win, might put money on it. Well, as a Titans fan, I want Manly to win by 34 points or more, because that would put the Rabbitohs into last. I think Manly win anyway. I don't think they win by 34 points, but I think Manly win. They've got a full-strength team. Rabbitohs missing Trell. I think they're also missing Cody. And it's a Brookvale. Manly need to make a bit of a push right now, because they are obviously teeter-tottering around the top 8. I think it's a very important game for Manly. So, look, I think the Rabbitohs lose. I just hope it's by a big margin, and if it's not, then I think Manly should be the better team anyway. Wallabies won 21-18. Well, it's a good sign for Fiji regardless. Tedesco nearly got away. He broke one tackle, but then got taken down by Alex Twal before he got away. They're making some massive meters though, the Roosters. They're making some massive meters. Got to feel for Fiji. Got to feel for Fiji, but they would be very well aware that it's they would be very well aware that was a very good performance. Yeah, they should just spam that corner bomb to Tupou. If the Tigers can't stop it, it's their problem. Correct. Roosters right outside. They give it away again. And Toby Rodwell will be 29 metres away from the line fit tackle. They're finding some good space on that right wing. And the one into Wase Savala. Again, they don't go to both sides. Tedesco coming through, though, against Turuva. Oh, I think that's a knock-on from Tedesco. Oh, maybe not. I don't know what just happened. Oh, it's a knock-on. Yeah, first touch back was Tigers. So if Sandon Smith doesn't knock that ball on, they would have scored. I really don't. Oh, Sandon Smith was just thinking about the pass. I think they might have actually gone to the bunker and seen this was a knock-on from Tedesco. I would have said Tedesco knocked that ball on as well. So if Sandon Smith had scored, it probably would have been a no try. But, oh, dude, that was close. Roosters are knocking on the door, man. Clumsy Roosters. Oh, I wouldn't call that clumsy, man. Like, that's a very difficult play to make in that situation. But I'm not going to deny the Roosters are a very clumsy team, but I just don't think that one is one we can really hound on too much. Second tackle now, 20 metres out. Jay is out again. We were talking about this last night, and I think the best benefit you get from it is that it wakes you up. Like and this game's actually pretty fun to watch, to be fair. But if you're ever like kind of feeling drowsy, or it's a boring game or whatnot, you just have a good old whiff of the herbal inhaler, and you're good to go again. Tigers now will be at the 50. Alex 12, fit tackle. And I have to always reiterate herbal inhaler, herbal inhaler, herbal inhaler. Is the chucked cloth in the wash? Mate, I'll wear it for the next one. I'll wear it for the next stream if you keep on yapping. First tackle now, and Daniel Tupou. Good run here from the Roosters. They'll bring this ball out to the 25. Second tackle. Or do you do the dishes with it? I'm in a hotel. What do you mean do the dishes? I haven't had to do dishes since the beginning of February at this point. No, sorry. Yeah, probably about the beginning of February at this point. It's great. How good. It's so cheap to eat out here that there's literally no point to making food at home. And it's like you can eat healthy stuff for sure. Oh, there's a 3-on-1 out there, Tedesco. Pass the ball. Fit tackling out the 40. Still 15 minutes left. Plenty of time, Roosters fans. Bit of a half moon there from Tedesco. Another set, another time. They do not go Tupou side. And good take by Tarova in the air. It's a very good take. Very good take. Second tackle here for the Tigers. But do they put Tarova into the centres or on the wing for Fiji? Surely into the centres. Because Dream Buller would be the fullback. I'd expect Tarova to go into the centres. Maybe you're putting Namanga Tawase onto the wing. Or the centre. Who's the other centre, though? So, fourth tackle of the Tigers, and Safatoa is trying to milk something. He slowly gets up. Yeah, the Tigers are definitely playing a lot slower footy than the Roosters right now. They've gone into defence mode rather than to just keep playing the same footy that they've been winning with so far in this game. Alright, so Dewey, he'll kick this ball down into the corner. And it will be Toby Rodwell who'll bring it back here to the 10. I would love to see them actually kick it to Tupou's side right now. Tigers is playing one-up plays. Oh, you can tell that they're tired. You can tell that if the Roosters are good enough, they can win this game. If the Roosters are a top 8 team this year and think that they're going to be competitive when it comes to what counts, they can still win this game right now. The Tigers are... Oh, that's a great tackle there from Dewey. No, it's not. It's high tackle. I take it back what I just said. That is a high tackle there from Dewey. Don't collapse here, man. Don't collapse, Tigers. Don't collapse. They're thinking challenge. It's just been confirmed by the bunker. Well, hey, hold on a second. Hey, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You shouldn't be allowed to tell them. That's ridiculous. If they wanted to challenge it, you let them challenge it and it's unsuccessful. It's on them. What are you doing, referee? That is quite literally unfair to the Roosters, what just happened. That is like, that's literally unfair. That's quite literally cheating. Like, the Tigers are eligible to make a challenge, and then the referee says the bunker has confirmed it as high contact before he could challenge it. So they would have lost their challenge, but that's on them to lose. That's got nothing to do with the referees. Why is the referee allowed to even make that comment just then? It was still within the 10 seconds, and the Tigers were considering to challenge it. That's crazy. So full tackle, that's on them. That's not on the... oh my gosh. Nwanga to Wase, how he will knock the ball on. It was a good run, and then he knocks the ball on. And now Sino Taruva at the 10. He'll give it across here to Adam Dewey. And Dewey will get this ball to the 20. Dude, that is... Like, if you're a Roosters fan, you should be pretty pissed off about what just happened. And now Tigers will be taken down to the 25. No, that I would not call that high. I can hear a lot of people booing, but no. What the hell? What have you even just said, Penny Yeboah? Third tackle at 50. I'm going to read this comment out. The weather can make comment, not you. You can make comment. You want to make comment? You can make comment. Make comment, who cares? Roosters that win, the Roosters can win Bruce West target. What the fuck did I just read? So first tackle now for the Tigers at the 35. Are you drunk, Penny? You had a bit too much to drink today, champion? Second tackle now at the 30. Please don't make any more comment. Second tackle now at the 30. Yeah, well said, Penny. That's exactly what I was thinking, mate. That is exactly what I was thinking. You've just put my mind onto writing. Like, it's unbelievable stuff, actually, Penny. That's my comment. I don't know, based off of your comment, if my comment is valid or Bruce West, but target Bruce West. That's all I have to say. Target him. And Taruva, he'll get the offer away. Penny, 1 second here. Penny says the referee cannot make comment, and I said you can't make comments. Oh, 1 second, Tigers. They get the offload away. Latafani. No, they got the offload away again. Kicks it through, and it'll be Roosters' ball. Okay, so that's gonna be a dropout. So Penny, thank you for your reply. But the way you've put that comment, the original one, didn't make sense. The one you've just made now, I somewhat understand what you're trying to say. Like, the referee can't make comment. Correct. That's what I'm complaining about. The original comment, there was too many comments, mate. There's too many comments. And Roosters knock it back, but Tigers get the ball. So, first tackle now for the Tigers, 15 minutes away, 10 minutes to go. Thumbs up, subscribe, bing, bang, boom. We've got Manly Rabbitohs right after this. Manly versus Rabbitohs right after this. Greg says, YouTube just gave me an hour-long ad. I'm playing on the referee Roosters. And we're back to not making much sense. Second tackle now. 13 minutes out. Look at Benji. He's angry. He's fuming, the old Benj. He's fuming. 5 metres out, third tackle. It started early, Olivia. Started early. Adam Dewey, 15 metres out. You can't run from it. You definitely can't hide from it. Fourth tackle, 5 metres away. He's the referee. No way he is. He is. That is Henry Perinara right there. So, fourth tackle. And they drop the ball to Grass McGrath, but it goes backwards. Well, see, the thing is, Jared, I don't know if it is a good thing or a bad thing that he's saying. Like, I don't know if it's to do with me or to do with the referee or to do with Bruce West. I don't know what's happening. Just trying to survive at this point, mate. Nwanga Tawase gets the ball. Penny says, go the Roosters. West, you're going down. You tell him, Penny. Get in him. Second tackle out to 15. David says, Olivia, you can make a comment. Can't make a comment. No comment. Hey, no comment, mate. Don't be silly, David. Third tackle. Nafahu White at the 20. Benji threatened an uppercut from the sideline. I love it. How long until that Gal versus Sonny Bill Williams fight, by the way? Fourth tackle here at the 30, the Roosters side. Edward says, the referee is so biased on the Tigers free. Well, I did say that in the first half, there was some questionable calls that went against the Roosters that I didn't agree with, especially in that first 15-minute penalty flurry that we saw. Is that going to be a 40-20? No, but it will go. It's actually going to be a good kick regardless. Tarova picks it up at the 8. Roosters not chasing this ball hard enough, however, and the Tigers will bring it out here to the 15. Tigers have been the better team here today. I just want to put that out there. A couple of questionable decisions in that first 15 minutes that led to a try for the Tigers. Plus also very questionable, the referee is making a comment that the bunker has already confirmed it as a high tackle before they could challenge, which would have resulted them in losing a challenge, which has nothing to do with the referee. That is their choice as a team to make, and he shouldn't be allowed to speak. But with that being said, the Tigers have been the better team today. So it's like, yes, there's been questionable calls, but the Tigers have been the better team today. So Sunatarova, fifth tackle. Magic Gillespie's at you. Chelsea, Vegas paid off the refs. Damn, America having an impact on the Australian Rugby League. Alright, so Dewey now kicks this ball into the corner where Rodwell will grab it and then take it down 5 metres out. Good win for the Tigers, poor effort from the Shooks. There's 7 minutes to go here, mate. It's only a 12-point game. And the Roosters, Daniel Tupou nearly got away. I think the biggest mistake the Roosters have made today is not going to Tupou more, man. They've not gone to Tupou anywhere near it. Now Centre Smith! Oh, it's good cover defense there from the Tigers. 30 metres out, third tackle for the Roosters. Hope Sonny Williams gets knocked out. I just wanted it to be a good fight, dude. But the fight would have been so much better, like... Oh, Tedesco's away! Oh, it's tripped up at the 50, fourth tackle. Go right, go right, go right. I think they've just caught 6 again. Yep, they have. 6 again here for the Roosters. So it's going to be first tackle with the Roosters, 40 minutes out. Here's your chance, Sydney. Here is your chance. 2 convert tries will send us to extra time. If you don't convert either one of them, then it'll be the game over. Second tackle now. 25 metres away from the line. 6 minutes to go here of the game. They go out to the left and Nafahu White. He's 20 metres away. 15 metres away. He's still going here. He's 10 metres out. The Tigers, they are tired right now. Zach Docker-Clay. That should be 6 again. Didn't call it. Zach Docker-Clay gives it across to Sandon Smith. Hugo Savala. Why do they keep going to the right-hand side? And oh, they're going to score! They're going to score! Nawaqanitawase will score for the Roosters. 28-20 with a kick to come. Here we go. Here we go. The Roosters, they need to get this conversion, though. Nawaqanitawase, like, this is the thing. Nawaqanitawase, when he gets the ball out there, he has been solid today for the most part. It's scored 2 tries now. I'm still confused. They're never going to Daniel Tupou's side when they've scored 1 from one time of going to his side with a kick. But Nawaqanitawase will power over, and he is a strong, strong centre man. He's just had to push through, and this is a difficult kick here for the Roosters, though. With 5 minutes to go, it's an 8-point game. They need to get this kick. They need to get this conversion. Thurden says, go to the Tigers. Well, you're going to be on a nervous wait for this last 5 minutes. But Sandon Smith needs to get this kick. And it's a tough one from out on the right-hand side of the field, close to the sideline. We've had some pretty good games this weekend. All right, big kick here. Sandon Smith. Does he miss, Jay, you reckon? To be fair, I haven't made Sandon Smith have. Sam Walker have. Sandon Smith, he will... it's over the black dot too. We're on a 6-point game here. The Roosters, they were down 18-0. They were down 28-10. And now they're only down by 6 with 4 minutes and 14 seconds to go here of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. Get in the comment section right now. Who wins from here? Do the Roosters win? Do the Tigers win? That was a brilliant kick from Sandon Smith under a lot of pressure. He has to take it pretty quickly. It's on the right-hand sideline, and it's over the damn well black dot. It's over the black dot. That's a beautiful kick there from Sander. Beautiful kick. Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, Jay. 4 minutes 14. Can the Tigers, who have been evidently tired for the last 20 minutes of this game, can they find a way to hold out? They've come back on teams frequently recently and just not been able to get over the line. Can they do the opposite and be the ones to hold out? Don't give away a penalty here, Tigers. Roosters at the 15. First tackle, 4 minutes to go here of the game. Now, second tackle here for the Roosters at the 25. Both teams impacted, one by origin massively and one by injuries massively. Hugo Savala, James Tedesco to Mark Nawaqanitawase trying to get everything sorted again. There's only a couple of minutes left here, waiting for it. Are we back on? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know if we're back on. Let me know how many fingers I'm holding up. Let me know in the chat if we are rock and rolling again. And, okay, thank you, Olivia. All right, well, the Tigers got a penalty with a minute and a half to go, and they've just actually kicked the penalty to make it 30-22. I don't know what happened there, guys. For some reason, the internet here, I have to use my phone internet. I don't know what just happened. Minute and a half to go here in the game. It's 30-22, the Tigers. I think I saw one finger. Mate, like, especially in a close game like this, for the internet to go down was just so infuriating. So infuriating. We've been Bangkok, exactly right, Nate. But the Roosters go for a short kick, and they get it. They get the ball. They get the ball, but it's still going to be tough for them. So a minute and a half to go here of the game. It's 30-22 to the Tigers. The inhaler cooked the PC. It wasn't the PC. The internet just completely went off, but I'm on my internet now. The Roosters now, they're at the 35. Can someone tell me what happened? Like, how did the penalty happen? Was it a high tackle, or what happened? Because the last thing I saw was the Tigers getting the ball at the 45, and then next minute I see them getting the penalty and kicking it through the post. All right, 1 minute to go here. Oh, I've got to refresh this. There we go. All right, that should come with the actual score. Roosters out of the right-hand side. Third tackle off to Rodwell, and he will take it down about 6 metres out from the line. Fourth tackle. They have to score and probably just don't take the kick. Out to Nafahu White, then off to Zach Docker-Clay. There's 38 seconds left here. It's going to be fit tackle now. 4 metres out. It's do or die right now. Oh, late contact. Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. Docker-Clay. Rodwell gets it out. They shift it. And they flick it back again. Tedesco! Try time! Okay, 20 seconds left. You've got to, don't take the kick. Don't. Yeah, exactly right. Tedesco says we're not taking the kick. There is 16 seconds left here, guys. The Roosters are within 4. 30 to 26 with 16 seconds left here. They're confirming that he doesn't want to take the kick. Yes. Just wanted to confirm. Okay, fine. Wait, so what's happening here? So they decide. So what's happening here? So try confirm. So the clock goes back on. Okay, well they're going for it. 14 seconds. What just happened? And Sanders Smith will get the kick. Okay, so it's a 2-point game. There is 6 seconds left here of the game. 5 seconds left. All right, well, 2 points down. 5 seconds to go here of the game. Wow, this has been a crazy little finish here. And the Tigers will concede the try. It is a 2-point game, but the Roosters are going to have to run 100 metres here. The Roosters are going to have to run 100 metres. And if they score, they win the game. If they can get within 2-point field goal range, they can go for it. But like it's going to be a very awkward one because they're going to have to be on the run doing it. Deary me, that penalty the Roosters gave away is just dreadful. To give away a penalty to go down by, okay, 90 metres to go here. The Roosters with the ball. They give it to Tedesco. Tedesco out the back into Savala. Savala to Nwanga to Wase. He's at the 15. He's going to step around. This is it. You have to just throw the ball around here. Nwanga to Wase. They get across. They flick it across again. It goes back. Still Roosters ball. And Docker-Clay. That will be game over. That was a really underwhelming way for the Roosters to finish that game. But the Tigers will hold out. I didn't get to see what the penalty was. Whoever gave that away, that's disgraceful in a situation like that, especially for a late contact. But the Tigers, with that win, they will jump from 15th position into 14th position for the time being. Now, that's probably where they're going to finish. The Eels will drop back down into 15th. They didn't win by enough to go above the Newcastle Knights with their minus 67, the Tigers minus 84. I was thinking that too. Branson kicked a Tupou. You know, you want to. I can't believe they didn't use Tupou as much as they didn't today. But you know, so be it. So the Tigers will finish off the weekend in 14th. In that bottom 4 still. Technically, the Rabbitohs could go back above them, but they would have to win by a very, very large amount. Over 30 points against Manly at Brookvale. Doubt it. Whilst on the other side, with the Roosters losing, they will only lose by 2 points. So they'll be at plus 14. In 8th position, so they will not drop off. But if Manly beat the Rabbitohs in 15 minutes' time when they play, if Manly win, then the Roosters will drop out of the 8 and Manly will go into the top 8 because Manly had that plus 40 in comparison. But alright guys, I will see you in 10 minutes' time as we've got the Manly Seagulls taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs at Brookvale. Sorry about the internet stuff. I don't know what happened, but at least we were able to finish off the game for you. Obviously hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in 10 minutes' time for Manly versus the Rabbitohs. Alright, thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.